First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Rough 2 Comic Cast, where superheroes exist and comic book talk is the norm. It's your boy Mo Crosby, and we are back today to do another movie review. And this movie review, if you can't tell by the overlay, is Mortal Kombat. WB's reboot of the franchise. Yeah, it's the latest reboot of the franchise. It's the only reboot of the franchise, rather. The first movie came out in 95, and I think the sequel came out in 98.
I have no idea.
I don't think it matters.
It does. I think it does because I
was born in the year of Mortal Kombat, 95.
There was also that TV show.
Oh,
Right, and then there was that TV show that
and
happened.
the YouTube series.
That was the YouTube
That was
series
awesome.
Fire. I like the YouTube series. But we're here to talk about the 2021 movie with actors in it. I'm sorry. I'm horrible at this today. Allergies. My nose is like stuffy. Everything. I don't even know if you can hear my voice right now. But yeah. Oh, okay. Flex with your teeth. Anyways, to do this review with me, I have Ray. I have Bree. I have Keen. And as always, I have the very late to the show.
I heard America needed a Captain America, so I'm here.
What?
wrong franchise.
I heard this issue. I'm here, and I heard that they needed to be black. The Black America is here. I'm ready for y'all. Where's the problem? What's the issue?
We are talking Mortal Kombat, sir. You might want to take that off and come back later.
Yeah. Hold on.
So on brand for Anne.
Can you tell him to get the light from out behind him?
Right.
I know. We didn't even see it.
I think he can hear it. Out here looking like the U.S. agent.
I'm sorry. I'm here to talk Mortal Kombat. That's why I'm in the shadows.
Outworld.
You look like one of those witnesses when they need to interview but hide the identity.
Right.
Looking real noob Sabot.
Hey, Anthony's casting from Outworld right now. Anyways,
I want my superpower.
Let's talk about Mortal Kombat. So the first thing we obviously want to talk about is, did you guys know that Warner Brothers put out the first 7 minutes of the movie the day before the movie showed?
It wasn't the day before, but I saw
it was a couple of days before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw it the day before because I went on there. I went on HBO Max because I'm watching the Nevers, and I went on there, and it's on there, and I'm like, oh, this is fire. And so I was excited for this movie.
Oh, you poor guy.
No, as soon as I saw people started posting first 7 minutes, I was like, I'm not watching this because it's going to be the best part of the movie. And I'm going to be so pissed off. So I'm going to wait because I just want to watch everything together. It's like,
and you know what, King? It was the best part of the movie.
It was the best part of the movie.
Okay, so
much promise.
Let's do the review this way, right? Let's talk about the Let's talk about
cool.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about the positives, right? What did we like about the movie? What did we like? The opening. I mean, I think that general consensus is everyone liked the opening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keem, what else did you like outside of the opening?
I liked that Raiden was not the Highlander.
There can only be one.
Christopher Lambert
seemed a little more on brand, so I appreciated that it seemed like they put a little bit more thought into diversity and casting.
Right.
I like that it wasn't a particularly long movie.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
And I liked, again, this is always my thing. If I'm watching the movie with someone, if it's not a great movie, but it has moments where we can just joke the hell out of it as we're watching, that's all right with me. And there were lots of jokes. There was lots of laughter and moments that probably shouldn't have been funny.
You know what? It's funny, right, that you said that, because I think it's accidental laughter. I think they wrote. Okay, let me not jump into this. Ray, what else outside of the opening did you like per se?
I mean,
don't say it's better than 95.
none. It is better than 95. Listen, it is. I've said it repeatedly. Like, what 95 has is 95 is so bad it's good, but it's technically a worse movie than this one. This one is just not bad enough to be good.
And a better theme song.
Right.
I mean, I guess so. I don't care about all that. But ultimately, I think this movie, even the garbage fights, were better than all the fights in 95. Like, there was no fight in this where I was like, oh, it's a bad fight. Some of them just weren't good, but none of them were bad.
All right. Anthony?
Kano was more interesting.
I knew it.
He was. I mean, he was an asshole to a point of mastery. Of mastery.
A master asshole.
A master.
I get the feeling that guy just ad-libbed all his lines.
You know what? It was probably better than was written on the pages. It was probably better than written on the page. Because it was times when he got his ass kicked, and they was like Raiden shocked him at one point. They did a jump cut him stand up, like did I miss something? And he was still like I was when you relate more to Kano, than anybody else in the film, like that's not relate, but like feel something, have something for him, like yeah. So it was.
Did you guys notice when Sonya first was like, "Oh, but you don't have a mark," and Kano was like, "Wah wah" in the background?
yeah.
He was a dick, like.
Also,
I had to rewind and turn it up just to make sure.
Ray has done that egg roll thing to me, and I'm pretty sure I felt Kano's rage. I felt Kano's rage at that point. So yeah, hero of the story. Fuck those guys.
Okay. Bree, what else? What did you like outside of the opening? And don't say Kano.
I loved the bad acting. I loved it. They were so serious, but they were talking about this ridiculous
so terrible.
It was
and I loved it. It like made the movie for me, honestly.
No,
like,
seriously, when Kung Lao
so
goes flawless victory, and I'm like,
no, I loved all that shit. I loved all that cringe shit.
It was
flawless victory.
Cringe.
It was so stupid, and I loved it.
All right.
It could have been an awkward drinking game.
Before you all go on, like we need to talk about the game first, okay? Like the game
but that's not
is
fair.
Look, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
The game is absolutely hilarious. Like
yes.
the game is made for one, people who find the whole thing slapstick because it's so ridiculous you can't take it seriously, and two, edgelords who take it seriously. Yeah. So like, I look at the game and I look at the movie and I'm like, yeah, they got it right.
That's why I love it.
Like,
Yeah,
they got it right. Because like I'm sorry. Like there's no one on this planet can convince me that a Mortal Kombat game is good.
No.
Like no one can convince me
That's a game. You didn't think the first game was good?
No.
The first game I think was decent. I thought it was pretty good.
Look, I know I'm a little older than some of you youngins on this channel, but when the first
who you calling younger?
but when the first game came out, it was revolutionary. Like it was nothing.
Two things. It had two things. It had mocap actors. And it had blood. You
Yeah.
know what? Don't care about either.
Okay, it was still a good game.
Okay, great. All right,
No,
so now
it was not a good game. The AI was real dumb. Like you could cheese the AI super hard. They were like one touch death combos. It was not a good game at all.
Oh yeah, that was annoying.
Like if you played Mortal Kombat, you knew it was a broken game.
Combos at the end of the game, and it just taps, and
I can't speak to y'all experiences, but in the corner stores where I lived, it was always packed. It was always
in
playing.
Nigeria, Mortal Kombat was almost a religion, and
I've always been a Street Fighter person. Like,
but even I can admit that it was a fun game.
Okay,
listen, the problem with Mortal Kombat is there's so many other games in that exact genre that Mortal Kombat fits into that do Mortal Kombat better than Mortal Kombat. Primal Rage, Killer Instinct, like that. Mortal Kombat probably gets props
after Mortal Kombat though.
Yes, Mortal Kombat gets props for being the first to do it the way they did, but doesn't necessarily make it just because you're the first doesn't make you the best.
Okay, so now I need to ask you a question, Ray, because you said the game. If you look at the game and you look at the movie, so now are you saying that the only way to make a good Mortal Kombat movie is to just make it as cheesy and a slapstick as the game?
No. But like,
right.
absolutely not. You can make a serious Mortal Kombat movie, but to be quite honest, if your Mortal Kombat movie is like serious and all that, which honestly I think is what they were going for here. They just had if your Mortal Kombat movie is super serious, like then I think you've missed the entire point. Because like if you go read the lore of like Mortal Kombat, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? This nonsense.
I disagree. I think you got to pick a lane. You got to pick a lane and find a balance. And this one seemed like it was all over the place. Like it wanted to be gritty, serious at the beginning. The first 7 minutes that we all liked was kind of like, oh, okay, this is going to be. And then it just got real slapstick at some areas and cheesy lines. And I think you got to pick a lane.
I wouldn't call that first.
Hold on, man.
How's it feel to be interrupted?
I know this is so weird.
I'm enjoying it.
Right. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
You were talking about how it was gritty and whatever else.
I remember what I was going to say. Put this back together. I remember what I was going to say. So I think that one of the issues that they did again, which I hate when they do reference material, is they'll just bring characters in and they give you no backstory. A lot of these characters might have been great Decepticons. You didn't know anything about them, and you might have learned their name. They did the same exact thing Annihilation did. That annoys me. You gotta for a tournament arc, you want to care about people's motivations and what they're doing. And if this is
never made it to the tournament.
That's the question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question then. Oh, Bree, you want to go? Go ahead.
I fucking love that they did that with Natara though, because she was so hyped up by Shang Tsung. It was like, this is my greatest warrior.
Oh, he was.
He
was.
He loved it.
And he loved it so much that he had to kill what's his name Kung Lao for that. He's like, you really killed her like that? I bet you gotta die. Question though. Now we know they didn't get to the tournament right at the end of this movie, so we get a Mortal Kombat without Mortal Kombat in it. Question is,
I mean, the storyline is similar to storylines in the game, though. Like when you play the storyline, you're not really in Mortal Kombat, and the tournament thing is kind of just like, but you're still fighting each other because in the storyline they're like still fucking shit up because they're stupid outer realm shit. There's like one or two actual
Outrealm.
Yeah, there's like 2 games where tournaments are actually happening, right?
Yeah,
in the storyline, So.
So that's this question. The question I'm going to ask you is: do you think, to Anthony's point, where they just bring characters and kill them off, do you think they're just bringing these characters just because they want to have them here? Because we will get another movie with a tournament, and they want to save like the good, the A-list characters for that tournament.
They wasted all A-list characters. Then.
I don't think anyone really ever did.
Anthony said something about staying in their lane earlier on, and how they need to pick a side whether it's slapstick or whatever. And I'm like, I can't let it go because like there was nothing gritty or serious about that. It was just a fight.
What fight?
That first 7 minutes or whatever. It was just a fight. There was nothing really going on there. Now there was good story. There was good. Other parts. I think there was good theming and framing and all of that, but like there was not really a story being told, if that makes sense. They were just trying to show, here's why this guy who's going to show up later is showing up later.
But isn't that part of telling this story?
Yeah.
It's also his storyline in general.
Yeah, I mean,
there was family gets killed. He goes to hell.
I feel like
that was a whole mini movie.
They could have showed me that first 7 minutes, and I would have been like 5-star. It could have been a 7-minute Mortal Kombat movie, and I've been like, I am ready for this.
The only thing I cared about in that intro was when he started fighting. I didn't care about anything before it or after it.
That's a very odd filter you got.
Sir, you might be Sub-Zero with your heart of race.
I came to see story.
I forget the actor's name, but he showed up in Ronin. He plays a lot of stuff. The guy that's playing
he's America's he's Hollywood's favorite Japanese
Asian right now, right? Yeah. Which I was also disappointed. I thought for sure he was gonna possess Cole, and that was Cole's role.
We're gonna get to that.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought too.
Bitch, we thought.
I was like,
well, we were supposed to get to that. We're there now. Anyways, so they introduced a couple, a new character in Cole Young, I believe that's his name.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it didn't. No, seriously, and it didn't even matter to the story because what we thought, like everyone, the general consensus across the board, because on the internet. Everywhere, everyone I've talked to is like, oh, I thought, Cole, because you keep giving him these dreams, they're really vivid of Scorpion in hell, and his arcana is body armor. That
it's Aquaman suit.
That absorbs, I think that whole Black Panther thing.
That whole arcana thing.
I thought it was going to be a Black Panther suit where it absorbed and then like returned, but it didn't even seem like that. It just seemed like you're not going to get hurt as much if you get hit. It was bad. It was
weird to add him when you have like
Tonfas for no reason.
1,000 other characters.
But it's
and he didn't have a personality. He didn't have a personality besides getting his ass whooped. He didn't have a personality, and they killed.
His personality was I have a family.
I think the worst part about adding is there's a character in Mortal Kombat lore that is related to Scorpion. To Takashi, I forget his name, but there's an actual character that's related to in the game that's related to Scorpion, where you could have actually just picked that character up and used him instead of creating a new one for this.
There's even like a storyline where like they change something and he gets his family back, like he's alive too. Like there's a timeline where he is alive and his family is alive.
That timeline nonsense with more Kombat.
So like
this felt like oh, we're gonna make a Street Fighter movie, but Americans need Americans to be in the front of this, so let's make Guile the main character and push all these other characters on the side. That's what it felt like to me.
Okay, so now question is, how do we feel about the heroes? How do we feel about the heroes? We get Cole Young that nobody apparently cares about, but how do you feel about everyone else? Okay,
Pinocchio Jax.
You want to go?
I'm sorry, but I just remembered his little arms.
His little arms.
Like a little T-Rex.
Oh God, they hold him so bad.
I forget who. I think it was Riley, but he said it looked like somebody said that it looked like half-eaten chicken legs.
When I thought I just got finished rewatching Deadpool 2. And so, when his legs gets blown off and he's got like the little baby legs growing back, that's all I could think about. It's like, look at his little discount arms. This is so sad.
They made a point to show how hard he worked with his arms too, right? Because he's wearing all the sleeveless shirts and everything.
But you know what I love
so proud of those arms?
Kano. Because Kano was just eating him alive. Like he just kept going and going and going. And I was like, you know what? That is on brand though. That is very on brand for Kano. I love it. So yeah,
no, this was Captain Boomerang. That's what I get. I never pictured Kano like this. This was Captain Boomerang, the Mortal Kombat movie. That's what
Kano was always like annoying and like borderline sexual harasser to Sonya. So like
he was the same in the last movie.
Wasn't he like a traitor to Sonya and Jax? And like that's like part of like their whole tension. It was something similar to that. So like I felt like they did those three characters really well in terms of like relation to the game, even though like acting
he was like a criminal and they were like special forces or something like that. I don't remember.
Why stop in the alleyway to fight Sub-Zero? Why not just keep going?
If Sub-Zero had gone into that building, I would have dipped. I'm like,
I would have turned the other way and been like,
Hi. You must not want to fight.
Instead, you got double frostbite, lost your arms.
Bro. I did 6 tours.
But honestly, why do Americans love to tell you how many tours they did right before they get their ass kicked in almost every movie? It's literally the same thing. But no, that was
it's like Nigerians in American movies. They're always the bad guys for some reason.
Bruh.
Where are you running?
Mo does not want to talk about it.
I caught you. Hey, but why? That was the decision I didn't, because if you're gonna do Arcana at the end, right? Why couldn't his Arcana be his arms at the end? Like he doesn't have to have his arms ripped off. I mean, the story.
I feel like he needed his arms ripped off. I just don't understand why monks suddenly knew how to
put technology
do that
together.
And were they cybernetic and they had to like?
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I thought they were just sticks.
Or that's just power.
What? Oh, why are we questioning a Mortal Kombat movie? We're supposed to be talking about the characters.
I just wanted to know. Because I was like, when's he going to get his robot arms? But they ditched him.
I'm never going to look at a tree branch the same now. Thank you, Bree.
And these monks did that. They don't look like they got working toilets, but they could do cybernetic arms.
Those toilets
this is what I'm saying.
That great. Yeah. When Sonya and Kano were fighting, Sonya banged Kano's head onto the toilet seat, and the tank fell down.
The whole toilet just fell over.
You gotta look at the toilets in the world.
So let's talk about the characters. For some reason we like Jax. We're okay with Jax.
I think I like Jax.
Jax
could have been better.
They didn't yell out "ashtray, bitch," and that ruined the whole movie.
I was a little sad he didn't do the thing where he pounds on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I really needed that.
Maybe next movie.
I'll tell you what.
We said I have a score to settle with the no-name general guy, not the guy that ripped off your arm.
The guy with the hammer.
No, because that nigga ripped his arms off. He already knows he can't beat him. I'm not going back to the person that beat my ass already.
I got a score to settle with
I can beat him. I'm fighting him.
Okay, so about that
get in a fight and you get your ass whooped, and just because you magically grow stronger arms, you go filthy. No, you're not.
The nigga that committed armed robbery. No, not fighting him again. Going to the smallest dude in the room to be like, you. I got a score to settle with you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm not talking to you. You stay over there.
I got behind you.
I didn't understand how they had a whole fight on a bridge, right? And he didn't uppercut him onto the spikes underneath.
No uppercuts. That's the only move you know for every
It's a Mortal
character.
Kombat movie. You didn't finish it by knocking him off the bridge and onto the spikes at the bottom. What's going on?
Oh God!
Why were there so many fights on these weird narrow bridges?
And Raiden just teleporting to different places and different planets. Is that what happened? And nobody was. That was just
different realms.
How do you feel about Sonya?
She was a weeaboo.
Yeah, she was some kind of weird
She was the weeaboo for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, she really was.
There was an open call. She was in our last $2. She wasn't even the actor before the thing. She came in. It was this or porn. It was this or porn.
And it was still a toss-up.
And porn is still an option.
Yo, all right.
I did like that they gave her power though. The
rings, the big ring.
She was so happy when she killed Kano.
I thought that whole thing.
So happy when she killed Kano.
With a
I
no.
thought that whole powers thing was just absolutely stupid.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the
she doesn't have a marking, so she's not allowed to participate in Mortal Kombat. She has to kill someone. I think that whole thing is just really dumb.
It was
as
weird.
a concept.
They had a limit.
You either give them the powers from the get go, or you just don't do it.
They just don't
and if
have
you want to do the mark, your strategy should be to kill as many of the other side to give more potential fighters the mark to give them powers. Right. They were doing this ass backwards.
Yeah.
But I think if we're talking about the lore and the story and all that, Jax, but what's his name was born with his, right? Cole was born with his.
Mm-hmm.
How fucked is it that his name is Cole? That's a little too close to cold.
Bree's bringing up the important points now.
Sorry, it's just weird.
But let's think about the fact that he was born with his marking for a second, right? And everyone else had to either kill someone. How did we ever know, or did Jack just magically wake up with one? Was it ever said?
I guess they killed whoever.
He killed somebody. They said it in the story, like
they were tracking someone and he killed him.
And then the mark.
Oh yeah,
and
the next
superpowered being, and Jax killed him, and boom, he got a marking. So I guess to Anthony's point, it did work out that way. I mean, they found Kano because of that. How do we feel about the Outworld characters? Let's see. Let's start with Reptile, or a reptile, or just a lizard.
I think that was supposed to be Reptile.
One of the many reptiles.
Right. They're so there's
just
so many.
For some reason, he was naked this time.
There's no
okay.
Marshalls or TJ Maxx's in Outworld.
He is a lizard.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a lizard guy who happens to wear clothes in the game.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't think I'm worried I'm going to see lizard dick.
That could have only improved the movie for me, to be honest.
Are you a scaly?
Give me something I can talk about or be appalled at or something. Like, they just show
lizard dick.
Lizard pee.
It was a hard R rating. So
like, oh, check out that cloaca.
It was a hard R, so you can. It's not removed from the realm of believability to have that in there, swinging. How do you feel about the monks, Kung Lao and
Liu Kang was so little and he was so ripped.
He was just lean. He was super.
I was like, God damn, what the fuck? Like,
I mean, wait, was Liu Kang in the 90s? Was he bigger than this guy? No, I think
no, he was wiry, but
he might have been taller.
That TI skinny swole thing going.
I mean, Liu Kang is a Bruce Lee archetype, right?
Yes,
I think so.
So like, if he's jacked like Bruce Lee, yeah.
Did the bicycle kick?
Yo!
I always thought he was like, Mama, I got a new bicycle.
Whoopsie. How do we feel about Kung Lao?
I like Kung Lao.
I wanted to see how they would do the physics of the hat, and I actually enjoyed the hat. I was like,
I did enjoy the hat.
I was really glad that when the hat got thrown at Cole, that he actually had an injury, because I was like, how the hell is that shit not like cutting him up? But it was. I thought that was cool.
They didn't show it till later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he was like just holding it, but sorry.
And I did like his little flawless victory thing, where he stabbed it was in the ground, and he did the thing and killed Natara that way. So I think now we could talk about the fights. Outside of the fight in the beginning, right? And what fight in the end? What other fights did you enjoy?
I just want to say the fight at the end looked like a little ballerina thing.
I'm sorry?
It was well choreographed.
Very well choreographed.
Wait, what fight?
At the end, the last fight.
Oh, the way they jumped him, the Bucky fight?
I am always down for a group beatdown. Like, anytime I see the possibility of somebody getting jumped in a movie, I get so excited. So when I was like, wait, this dude and like his great grandfather get to like jump this guy, I'm here for it.
The guy Jax wanted no beef with.
The guy Jax wanted no beef with. Oh. And I'm also happy just to have heard Scorpion yell, "Get over here!" Because like,
even though he doesn't know English,
that's what coming.
Although, you know what? I don't even care, because I was waiting for it the entire movie.
You know what? He's been in hell for what, centuries? He's probably learned a few things since then.
and what he learned was get over here. Like,
get over here. Because you probably hear that a lot in hell. Like,
my favorite was at the beginning when he was like, I don't know Chinese. I don't know the words you are saying. I'm going to kill you.
Yes, I'm just going to kill you. It doesn't even matter. Like, you can talk all you want. You're just going to die.
I just thought it was so funny.
I do have
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you the one scene that really, really got me was when after Shang Tsung had like visited them and done all his whole speech, and he went back to Outworld. And like Cabal came up, he was like, "Did you run into Kano there?" And I was kind of like,
of all the people to ask about,
how do you just guess that Kano is going to be there?
I would assume he knew that was the mark. I thought
like
that was just known that he had the mark.
Anthony,
that was out of nowhere for me.
outside the fight in the beginning and the fight at the end, what other fight did you enjoy?
I mean, when Jax got his arms.
Jax's arms were getting ripped off. Was pretty much
great.
But there was no fight there. He just got his ass whooped. Like what?
I like
fun to see.
I liked Kano up with Liu Kang.
You know what? When I was watching the trailer originally, right, and because they had Sonya narrating in the trailer or whatever, I thought all that stuff was going to happen in the past, and then Jax showed up because like Sub-Zero blew up his arms, whatever. We weren't going to see any of what happened, and whenever we came back to present day or whatever, he could already have those metal arms. Imagine my surprise when that was not the case.
Okay, so I want to talk about Arcana. How do you feel about that whole the storyline behind it? Where
dumb, super dumb.
For Liu Kang to get his little fire fist, he had to kill someone, and I'm like, that doesn't track for this character.
He didn't have to just kill someone.
Yeah, he did. He killed somebody, and then his Arcana came.
It wasn't about the killing. It was more about why he did it and what he did for it.
Your inner passion has to.
He killed a molester.
Yeah, though I have a question. So Sub-Zero had his Arcana or whatever back in the past. Scorpion didn't have one?
No, he got his Hellfire in Hell.
But their arms are so powerful it passes down the generations.
What?
Cole had a mark because he was descendant of what's the name, right? He was born with it. He was the only person born with it, so he's super special, right?
Maybe it's Maybelline. Sorry. Just hear you he's born. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Also, I don't think that whole thing about the chosen one of Scorpion's clan and all that was
didn't even matter. It honestly didn't matter. You gave us that beat and then didn't do anything with it. I still think it was a wasted opportunity for Scorpion not to reanimate himself through Cole. I think it was just really because again, so the budget of this movie was about 70 million, right? Really small budget.
It was?
Yeah.
70 million?
No, sorry, did you say 7 or 70?
70.
That catering cart must have been on point for the food. The food for this this movie should have been good.
70 million
in that scene.
On this. 70 million on this.
Yeah, if you look at Raiden's eye, it was kind of weird.
I've seen cosplayers do it better.
Yeah.
And the thing that there was one fight I like. I did like how they incorporated combos from Sub-Zero into his fighting style, but that was the only person that did it. So it didn't matter. It wasn't consistent with everybody else.
I mean, it felt
they used a lot of moves from the game.
Moves, but not combos. Like Sub-Zero was putting combos into his. You know what I mean?
He's also had 1,500 years to get that shit on point
to learn, and everybody else would learned it in a couple of days, a week.
24 hours.
No, seriously, Raiden's little staff that he used to create the shield was a funny little story plot that I was like,
that was weird.
If you're going to create a mega shield to keep your enemies out, you're just gonna leave the staff lying around for Kano to get to.
Not even guarded.
Wow, what else can I talk about?
The Arcana was dumb, but I felt like it explained video game logic enough in terms of how the random humans got powers for me. Because I always wondered how the fuck can Cage and Sonya just shoot light?
I feel like they don't need to explain stuff like that.
It's just meditation, time and meditation.
It's Mortal Kombat. It's Mortal Kombat. They can just do it.
Liu Kang is a monk, so why should you explain why a monk should have fire powers? I don't think that requires explanation. Maybe for but Kano has always been he's had a mechanical attachment to his face, so I think that's where his little beam comes from, right?
Yeah. This time he didn't have that.
He didn't have it this time.
I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
The lack of technology part. See, this is what I told you. This is why they don't have toilets in Lord of the Rings.
Toilets. You gotta let the toilets go, Bree.
I'm just saying, just because there's magic, there's still technology.
What do you? It's a hole in the ground. Okay.
I thought they were gonna find him in that warehouse and take him to like some special forces lab or whatever and give him his arms.
I feel like that's what happened in the YouTube series. Was he lost his arms and then they gave him like the government gave him better arms. But I was appalled that Sonya like called one time and was like, and that was it.
She like forgets about him until she sees him again. And she's like, oh shit, Jax, I forgot about you.
Right. So you were an important part of this mission.
It's funny that happens because that actually affects the viewers because we also forget about him. I forgot he existed.
I did not forget about him. I was like, is nobody going to go check on this man? Like,
I was like, I guess he's dead. He shows up with robot arms.
Oh, he's alive.
I thought he was going to show up in the sequel with robot arms.
Right. I thought he was done for this movie, and then we see him in the next one. Ultimately, I do like the actors they use for Sub-Zero. The actor they used for Sub-Zero. I thought he didn't really have a lot of speaking lines, and when he did, he was speaking Chinese, and I thought that it was a good call. Because then it wouldn't fall as cheesy as some of the English lines did. It didn't. And really, I just go ahead.
One of the things that really annoyed me was like all the lore drops they were doing with like the human characters, basically. I'm like, listen, if you're gonna do lore drops, just make it like Raiden or Liu Kang who's doing the lore drops. But like Sonya was like doing lore drops, and I was like,
really?
what the fuck would Sonya really know about Mortal Kombat?
Everything, because she followed it for some reason.
It
was just.
She's got her conspiracy wall going.
Oh no, she was pained that when Kano was like, you don't have a mark to use.
that was my favorite part.
She was pained when she went in the training pit and Liu Kang said, "Oh no, you don't have a mark, so you can't train."
That's another thing that always got me.
Was Raiden dragging all of them? You don't have a mark. You have no skill. You are just like immature. You don't even
he dragged the entire team.
One thing that really annoyed me was at no point did they call it a mark. They just kept calling it a marking. And I'm like, no one talks like that.
Real quick, right? Was it weird to me that maybe it's not weird, but she was able to take down Kano really quick in that one scene, right? And then she super struggled against him when she had home field advantage.
I assume the Iconocrat gave him strength.
Who killed Reptile again?
Oh, okay.
It was a combination.
I feel like
who got the final blow?
You can't really give him that fight.
Oh, okay. All right.
He ripped his heart out. He drew a little drawing and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
I'm like, if getting the mark was such a serious need, to give it to her right then and there.
True. Yeah. But why didn't his arm melt when he killed
That's what I was wondering.
Maybe it's a gland thing. Maybe it's a gland in the mouth.
It's glandular.
Because
now who's actually trying to find Mortal Kombat science?
No, seriously, because when he punched him and he pulled his arm out, I was like, oh, it's melting. And no,
I was like, nothing. There's no singeing at all. Like not even a slight sizzle. Just
no.
How is he able to like do that thing without burning himself? And then he runs right through it. By the way.
Yep.
Like he gets his arms freed, and then he runs right through where he was just
where the drippy acid thing was dripping. That's weird. I just thought so. It's probably glandular. It's probably a gland in his mouth that releases his little acid. So let's just leave it there. That makes sense to me. I'm not going to drag that point anymore.
I love this. My favorite part.
So this I don't understand what you're saying. I'm just gonna. I thought this fight was kind of unfair, but I like the callback to this in the final fight where he did this and he grabbed the he grabbed his little thingy from him when he did that. I was like, oh, okay, great. They're not going to they're gonna
that's gross.
What?
Sorry.
Ultimately, how do we feel about this movie? At the end of the day, we saw it. Are we trying to find something good about it, or are we stressful?
Okay, so I'll help you here, Mo.
Please.
Because we talked about it briefly when you were like, "How'd you feel?" And I was like, "It was a movie. It had stuff in it. I don't think I'm going to try to justify or make anything good out of it. I enjoyed watching it just for the sheer ridiculousness of it. Any sequel that they put out, I'm going to watch it in hopes that I can make fun of that one too. Like, if it gets better, great. But if not, at least I have this where I can point to shit and like make puns and still laugh and have a good time."
If I can watch it at home, yeah, I won't be mad, but I wouldn't pay money for this.
Right?
Oh no, there has to be a screener. Like, I'm not paying for this.
Right?
Absolutely not.
I feel like I wasted my time, honestly. Like, I don't ever have regrets in life, but I still feel like I wasted my time. Yeah, like, quite honestly. Hold on. Sorry, I was getting the text message. I have no interest in seeing a sequel. Like, unless the sequel comes out and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so good!" Like, I have no interest whatsoever. Mortal Kombat has never really been my kind of thing, so it's all lost about. I'm not invested at all. No, not even a little bit.
Bree, you're ready for a sequel today.
Yeah, but I'm like the complete opposite of Ray in the terms that, like, Mortal Kombat, I played almost every game growing up. Like, it was the game me and my brother played. Like, I loved all the storylines, loved how ridiculous it was. I did not go into this movie expecting, like, cohesive storyline. I didn't.
It's Mortal Kombat.
You got that.
I went in only wanting good Scorpion scenes, and in the Scorpion scenes, I was happy, and everything else was just, oh look.
I mean, I completely agree with you on that. I think it's just my view on Mortal Kombat in general, because I think if you're comparing it to the game, it's par for the course. You know,
exactly,
like,
which is what I needed.
Yeah.
And Ant said he's not paying to see a sequel.
I want three more released on HBO. Like I don't want to pay for them. I don't want to go to the theaters. I want to get out of my pajamas. I don't have to put pants on. But I want three more sequels.
I mean, maybe they'll have a Fast and Furious type thing where the next movie will be like 7 movies will be better than the first movie by a wide mile.
Nope, I want equal quality of this one.
I mean, the dude that did sign up, the dude that plays Sub-Zero has signed up for 4 more movies,
and he's really good in The Warrior. He's really. I was so happy to see him in this. But yeah, I want the same director. I think this is the guy's first theatrical movie. The director.
Yes.
I want this.
You want the exact same thing.
It said change nothing.
Well, I want Katana. I want Johnny Cage.
I really want
we'll get Johnny Cage in the next one.
That we didn't get Johnny Cage, but he's like, he's teased for the next movie.
I'm sad. I mean, like, I don't think any of them are ever really dead. So maybe Goro will get hit in the balls soon, but
that's what I was like. You can even give me that. Like,
I am so sick and tired of nighttime CGI fights. Like, so sick and tired of it.
Well,
did you guys think it was weird? Cole kept getting knocked out by Goro, and then Goro would hit him again, and then he'd wake up, and then he'd get knocked out, and then he'd wake up.
No, what I thought was weird about that fight was before he got his little armor Aquaman suit, he got punched in the chest by Goro, and I'm like,
you should be dead. You should have like a pneumothorax, chest trauma. Like Goro did that thing. Yes. Like,
yeah, I was like, you're dead.
Goro
right?
only has like 4 moves, and he did all of them over and over. He spammed that move.
Right. So I'm like, but all in all, I thought it was a pretty.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it was. It was
such
cool.
trouble.
It was cool. I may have expected a lot more. And that's my fault. I was expecting like,
it's your fault because you watched that first 7 minutes and had high expectations.
I did.
That's on you.
Are we getting Scorpion's revenge as the backstory to Mortal Kombat, and we did.
Ish.
Yeah.
I mean, Liu Kang's not the main character anymore, I guess. So
just try to
Liu
remember
Kang better
the fights.
be in the next ones.
Like I know people would dog on this movie, but try to remember the fights from the first movie. Like the best part was that Scorpion.
I'm not. Maybe,
and
maybe I need to watch the first movie again.
You need to watch the first one again. Like he doesn't. The ninjas don't do any ninja like Scorpion like cartwheels out of the trees.
Yeah, like they didn't even die in Mortal Kombat. Scorpion died and it was weird. I rewatched it very recently, so like
I need to watch
it's all fresh to me.
But yeah,
and then like the Sub-Zero guy was some monk showed up and like was posing and flexing, and Sub-Zero just froze him, and that was it. It wasn't really any fights like that.
So I'm guessing I need to rewatch the old movie so I can like really have an accurate, a better. Same. Because my thoughts after I saw this movie was the first movie was better.
I enjoyed the first movie more.
I enjoyed the first movie. Oh yeah,
the first movie is so bad it's good. This one is just, to me. This one is just
because
bad. Like it's not as bad, but it's not bad enough to be good.
I could never get over Raiden in the first one.
Sub-Zero dies by getting speared with ice in the first movie. Like he gets a bucket of ice thrown.
As a kid, I was like, "How does that work? How do you throw a bucket and it form a like a spike?" And then go, like I was like, as a kid, I don't see how that works. That doesn't.
But this is the ice guy. This is like Bobby Drake dying from hypothermia. Like,
but look,
it doesn't mean he can't be impaled.
True.
He's not the sharp stabby thing guy. So
I always like Scorpion and Kung Lao were always like my favorites, and they kind of did Kung Lao dirty. Like
I'm surprised Kung Lao was your favorite because he was always the discount Liu Kang to me.
I know. I think I like him.
Yeah, like I was always like, eh.
But no, I thought this was a cool movie. It was a good way to waste a Saturday because I think I saw it on Saturday. It was a good way to waste. No, yeah. Because on the weekend that gave you the Falcon Winter Soldier finale, gave you the Invincible episode that we got.
Jesus.
And you get this, you're like, I guess. And then it also gave you what was the name of the anime that was in theaters this weekend?
Demon Slayer.
So
I think
I wish I saw that. I wish I saw that instead of this movie.
Did you wish you saw that instead?
I could have spent my time playing video games.
Yeah,
it should have been studying.
That's what you want to watch.
Everyone should have been doing something else instead of watching.
I regret nothing though.
I watched it on a Friday night. We're in a pandemic. I ain't have shit to do. Like I regret nothing, and I'll do it again.
Yeah,
I am definitely probably watching.
I am not
again.
super excited for
really.
It. I am not super excited. I saw it the one time and that's it. I'm not super excited for a sequel.
I watched
if
it twice.
If it does happen, and
you watched it twice.
I did.
I ain't got time to watch it twice yet.
I think what this movie has going for it is that it's short. It's in about an hour and 30, so it's really quick to get through. But
if this was a 2.5 hour movie, you would see a whole different review from me. There would be lots of F-bombs and frustration. But I can give you 90 minutes and be.
We should get your Snyder Cut review.
So the first time I watched
never mind. I'm joking. It's a kid. It's a joke. Her face was so straight.
I thought I missed something my first watch because I was doing notes when it was on, and I was like, "Man, something about the story don't make
nothing."
I caught everything.
You could have been doing laundry and folding and still watch this movie from the other room and still not miss anything.
Came back in and been right on beat.
But no, thank you guys for coming to do this Mortal Kombat review with me. Thank you, Bree, for making the time. Thank you, Ray, for making the time. Keen, Anthony, Captain America, Blackton America. We really appreciate it. We will be back to do something soon. I'm not sure yet, but we'll be back.
Invincible?
Yes, the reason I haven't done an episodic review of that show is I kind of wanted to. I feel like we're gonna get a shorter season, like maybe an 8-episode season, and I'm loving everything we're getting from Invincible. I can't wait to do a big review at the end of the season. Hopefully, by the time we do a big review, Bree has binged it through.
Yes.
I got a question. If you be any character from this movie, who would you be?
The niggas at the ice cream shop. I don't want to be a part of any of their shenanigans. I want to be at the ice cream shop getting a waffle cone and hot fudge.
But no, didn't they all die? They just got held on. Like,
no, some of them ran away, and I would have ran away with my ice cream cone and been like, "That shit was crazy."
but no, I need someone to really explain the fact that they had the car. This dude was on foot. And he decided to get out the car with a gun and say, "You know what? I will buy you time."
Because he did 6 tours, Mo. That's why.
People always want to go close range with a firearm.
Why, bro? Shoot from where you are.
Wasn't it a grenade launcher too?
Yes.
So, like, why shoot it so close?
I mean, the fact that this guy can materialize out of nothing and, you know, make ice would have led me to be like, you know what? He went in the building. I'm going to get back in the car. We're going to get you to safety. And then we'll, you know, open a dialogue and figure out our next plan.
Right.
And shouldn't Cole's daughter have a mark too? If it's like genetic at this point.
I didn't realize that Scorpion died like thousands of years before. So I thought that was her. I thought that was the daughter. And it didn't hit me until like so close. It was so close to the end when I was like, "Oh, that shit was long ago."
The story don't matter.
I thought it was like a generation.
He said, "I've been like, Sub-Zero for centuries." What?
Like she even knew uppercut.
You know,
like
seriously.
She would have done so much better.
She would have done a lot better.
I thought it was gonna be her.
I hated the MMA fighting angle. I was like, this dude sucks.
Did y'all catch that Liu Kang spam the same sweet move?
Yeah. Is that the only move you know? that move was so freaking annoying.
All right, yo. Thank you very much.
They missed one thing too.
Go ahead.
They never said the thing.
Go ahead. Say it before we go.
Toasty.
Next time.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Thank you for watching this review.
First learned about this 7 years ago on a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive.